going on YouTube? It's Sensei, the place to be. Children, Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys another video of W2K24. We went over the trailer, we went over the breakdown, stuff like that, but now there are some things that I missed, and I will now go into the real nitty gritty, go into details about all the new features that's coming out, because Lionel Jakes and Brian Williams, they did an interview and talking about the new features, and now I've actually pulled up and looking at the new features of what's going on in the game, so I'm excited about it. So we about to go up into that, and starting off with Showcase Mode this year. So as we know, it's the 40 years of WrestleMania. In 2K14, they had the 30 years of WrestleMania. Well, now we are having here. Now, I don't think it's not going to be about 40 matches or 47 matches like it was back in 2K14. One, because we don't have all those wrestlers under contract anymore, and somebody ain't even with us anymore. But I did read on the Smackdown Hotel that they were looking at 21 matches, which is about 6 matches up from the usual standard showcase that we've been getting from 2K19 on down. It's usually been about either 12 to 15 matches. So 21 matches, it's like, okay, so it's like we're going to cut it in half. All right, because we're not going to use everything, but we are going to get some of the biggest and the best moments. So I'm curious to see what the list is going to be. I'm probably going to do a prediction video about that a little bit later on. But also, when it comes to the 2K Showcase and the 40 years of WrestleMania, they're still using the slingshot tech, which is the enable players to morph from the gameplay to the live action in mid-match, like it's done that. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the slingshot method, stuff like that. I understand why they put it in there, because they're trying to freshen up Showcase. And when the Mysterio one happened, people was actually liking that at first, but then it sucks for content creators, because I know when I tried it with 2K22, I can't put this up because then we're going to block everything. You got to kind of like edit it out even more. And then after a while, it was just like, okay. When the John Cena one came out, I appreciate it, but then there's no commentary. I like when they did have the gameplay and had a commentary. I'm like, why can't we have both? You know what I'm saying? But it's not a big deal breaker for me like it's for some people. My biggest thing is, what are the matches that we're going to get? What are they truly going to highlight in this 40 years of WrestleMania? And I mean, I understand certain matches from what they had back in 2K14 can't come back, and I know some, but I would like to see some that can come back in a more updated way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see what all those are going to be about, but I'm actually excited for that. Going on next is it's something that I have been waiting for in a long time, and that is match types, new match types. There's one thing I love about a wrestling game is the different kind of match types, and I mentioned on the video before about the casket match, the gauntlet match, and the special referee match, but we're getting an ambulance match as well, and we're getting updates to existing match types already. They're saying that we're getting gameplay improvements and stuff for existing match types. So, for instance, backstage brawls, for example, now support 4 players. So you can have a fatal 4-way or in the backstage, because before it's just a one-on-one thing. So I'm liking that we can do that. And it has new environmental elements such as a working elevator, breakable glass, and vending machines with throwable sodas. That sounds hilarious to me. That is giving me Here Comes the Pain vibes, to be honest with you. That's giving me a lot of Here Comes the Pain vibes. And I like, because we always pass. Out of all those backstage brawls that we had in the previous games, we always passed some kind of sheet of glass. Since it came in 2K17, going all the way down, like, yo, maybe it'd be fun if we could just throw them through that glass. And last year, they had the whole spotlight. I love the whole spotlight gimmick. And then once you did that, it was kind of like done. But and you could like the tables in the back too. I appreciate that. Don't take that out. Leave it there. But the working elevator, I'm curious to, like, okay, is it going from one spot to another location, or is it a thing where it's like, okay, we're still in the same area, but instead of taking a long time to climb the ladder, we are going to take the elevator? We don't necessarily know how that's going to go, but I am very curious about it. That makes me very excited as well, along with these new match types when it comes to casket and ambulance match. Now, is everybody going to be happy? I know people will ask for Buried Alive. I'm a Buried Alive kind of guy when it comes to those match types. I enjoy them in Smackdown versus Raw, but I am excited for the casket match, and we never really got a traditional casket match in this game before. Never a traditional one. We had the cutscene in 2K. Oh, I mean, we did the match in the showcase in 2K15, but we couldn't play it. Okay, and also the only casket match that we had was in Smackdown 2 Know Your Role, and it was like you get to pick up the casket and hit people with the casket, but it wasn't a traditional casket on the side of the ring, and you got to beat your opponent down to go into that. So I'm curious to see what the casket match is going to bring. Same goes for ambulance matches. The great cool ambulance matches that we have gotten over the years. I'm curious to see how we're going to do with the ambulance matches. Now, I know they said those are one-on-one style matches, so I'm very curious to see how the ambulance match is going to go. So those are cool for the new match types, which got me really excited. They also added, when it comes to the gameplay, they're introducing super finishers, a new mini game, and super finishers where you can now have these big store finishers, because I think they changed the store finishers from 3 to 5 in this game, and now with a super finisher you can use that, and now it will knock out your resiliency. So it's supposed to be like the final blow, but you got to earn all 5 finisher spots for that. So you never know, we can see the Cody Rhodes do the crossroads 3 times, or John Cena do the super action, just what we've seen that all the time, where Seth Rollins doing a mega stomp from the top row, choke slam through the ring. Who knows what a super finisher could be? But I'm curious to see that also. They also have a trading game, a trading mini game for trading blows, I should say, where it's like the yay boo hits. Okay, we got the yay boo hits. So in like when the match is going on, I think that would be kind of cool. At the beginning of the match, no, but as it's going on, I think I could like that as well. Plus, they have now, for anybody who listens to my podcast knows that I am not a fan of the pile-up spot. That's what I call it. It's when everybody's on the outside, you dive on the outside. But in a video game, that thing should be awesome. Now, I don't know what is going to implement with this pile-up spot. They've been trying to work with that for years. And I heard Brian Williams in an interview say that last year he was trying to bring that in there. So now they got a way where you can just dive on all the opponents. I don't know if it's going to be in ladder matches or all kinds of matches, or they can do it on a balcony or in the crowd. I'm not necessarily sure what is going to be happening with that. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out. They have double title matches, new paybacks, new weapon types such as trash cans, guitars, and microphones. And we never had Elias had his guitar going in there, but it was never like a selectable thing. Neither was a trash can. I can't remember that. I think it used to be they took it out, but now trash can come back with microphones, and you have the ability to throw weapons. Okay, so I'm sorry, y'all. This is why I'm trying to tell y'all, competition is a good thing, because that throwing weapon stuff and having all these different kinds of weapons, AEW Fight Forever was doing that. And it was like, okay, we can take that and make it better. Now, I'm not sitting there saying AEW Fight Forever is a better game. I'm just saying that's what they was doing. When you can look at what the competitor is doing, that's how you can update your game. That's why competition is a good thing. Creation Suite. Now, I'm not the biggest creator. I go download my superstars. My son is the creator. He creates all the characters and creates everything he wants to. He'd be in there for hours doing it. I can't be doing all that. Creation Suite thing is just like, okay, it's whatever. But for a lot of people, this is right here what is going on. And we can do a create a referee and create a sign. So when you create something, you got to sit there and try to pick different signs. You create your own sign, think that's a bonus. And of course, creating a referee, especially when they have scanned 7 different referees, and they're using the real life model of referees. So that's what I love. So you can actually see in the thumbnail that they, one of the screenshots that they have of Bianca Belair and Asuka WrestleMania 39. They have the black woman referee. Please forgive me for getting her name, but she is going to be scanned in. I'm like, good. We're going back to the old school way, so we get to see the actual referees that's on the television going to be in the game as well. And I think that's a really, really great come up. Now we go on to MyGM mode. And MyGM mode is something that I did not know how much I enjoyed, because I started playing it last year. It took, like I said it before, I was never the biggest fan of MyGM, even back in Smackdown vs. Raw in 2008 killed it for me. But when it came back in 22, I tried. I was like, it's alright. I noticed there's an audience out there for it. It wasn't for me. But now, when I tried it in 23, I was like, okay, I'm enjoying it with the little updates that they had in there. But now we got some bigger updates that we got to talk about for MyGM, which is even giving me more excited. In this mode, this is things that we can expect this year. I know they're going to be more in the detail as time goes on, but they got new GMs and new brands. Actually, when they were showing the feature, you see Tyler Breeze in the background showing. You can see that he's going to be another GM, but you see the ECW brand in there. So it's probably mean they're going to add an ECW brand in also, which I would thank God for that. Because then I think they're going to probably, if you're going to add ECW, you might as well add Paul Heyman. You know, so I want to see Paul Heyman. I want to see Mick Foley. I want to see Teddy Long. I want to see all kinds of managers. More match types, more drama, more championships, talent scouts, superstar trading between brands, superstar contract management improvements, and the new superstar journey, which allows superstars to earn XP, train, and level up for new benefits after matches. Now, I don't know what any of this, the last couple stuff means, but number one, the new GMs and the new brands, I enjoy. It's expected, right? Now, the new match types. What I'm hoping is, because we can add 6-man stuff now, because before we couldn't even do fatal 4-way stuff like that. Not really. Then 23 we added fatal 4-ways, triple threat matches and stuff like that. Now in this one, 6-man, so we can do elimination chambers, or we could probably do war games, or we could do, you know, just different kind of matches that we can do that can hold more superstars in the matches. You may even do a Royal Rumble. Let's say you don't know what it means. More championships. So even with new brands like ECW bringing in different championships, I hope we can, you know, give the tag team champions their belts at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just trying to figure out, oh, I gotta make a team and they gotta go fight for it. And like, even so, those matches got me a lot of stars for the way I booked them. But you just want to do something else. I don't know if they're still doing like the giant cruiser thing, or the bruiser brawl, the bruiser fighter type thing. Me personally, I'll kind of be done with that, because I'm like, why can't 2 fighters have a great match? Why can't 2 bruisers have a good match? Why can't 2 giants have a good match? You know what I'm saying? Those are kind of things I kind of hope they kind of switch up in there, or at least kind of modify a little bit. When it comes to the talent scouts, I'm guessing when it comes to the local talent, you can like scout them a little bit, like put them on the side, train them up, and see how they go, to see if I really want to sign and build them up to your liking. Maybe, who knows? And when it comes like to trading, me and my son, we'll go back and forth. Right? Like I would love to do some trades, because there's some pictures you don't get at the beginning, because they don't always have everything available for you during the draft for those who play it. But when it comes to trading, we can do that. And when it comes to XP, I'm just curious to see how that's going to go. I'm really curious to see how that's going to go. MyRise mode. So when it comes to MyRise, I played MyRise. I played it a lot. I actually beat MyRise, the men. And I didn't finish the women one. I was still playing it, but I was just playing it. Like when it came to 2K23, I was just playing the game, and I never recorded any of my content at all. That still bums me out to this day. I never recorded any of the content. I was just in it and playing the game, and I was just like, man, because there were some issues that I just could not get stuff up, especially on our gaming channel, which sucks right now. But here are some updates for MyRise, which we're doing the same thing before. It will feature 2 storylines, one focus on the men's division and one focus on the women's division. The men's storyline is called Undisputed, while the women's storyline is called Unleashed. And the devs and the publisher promise that MyRise is more impactful on the overall experience than ever before, featuring the likes of Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Mick Foley, and others performing voiceovers for the first time. That right there is big news when you get some big names like that. Because before we had the MyRise, we had some kind of names in there, but it was mostly some, you know, the mid-card stuff like that. But now getting some of the top dogs in there, they probably got some plans for that, which makes me excited. It also features expanded rewards, more unlockables, and new environments. All of that sounds promising to me. All of that sounds like I'm really excited to try this mode out. Like I said, I enjoyed MyRise for it, and now get to see different locations. I enjoyed my career. My son likes MyRise the most. When it comes to me, I was always more of a universe guy. My son was the career mode. Even when we play 2K, he does the my career. I do the my team. But first, we got to talk about this universe mode. Universe mode with expanded rivalry actions, run-ins, cash-ins, scenarios, and brawls. New cutscenes, thank God. Special guest referee support, double title matches, and loser leaves town stipulations. That right there automatically got me excited for loser leaves town. So now it's getting me excited. Like, maybe I would like to go out here and do another universe mode and actually record it and put the work in. Because, you know, universe mode, for the content creators out there who know, universe mode takes a lot. I always admire what Gore and Perkins do on their universe mode. They actually years ago inspired me to do a universe mode to follow it. And the one I had for 2K 18 and 19, I got great feedback on, but I just lost the momentum, steam, and confidence in, to be honest with you. But this one, it's looking like it's trying to get me back. Please get me back. Then we have MyFaction. I know a lot of people don't like MyFaction. I like the attempt at MyFaction because it's trying to be like my team with NBA. I love my team. I can't get enough of my team. MyFaction is not that. But these are the features that can kind of help it that I missed the first time I was talking about this. So I'm really excited about it when I heard about this. MyFaction returns with a new direct purchase card market and updated multiplayer experience, including ranking online quick plays with rewards and leaderboards, weekly towers, and revamped Faction Wars 2.0. The latter includes the following, which is more real-world factions, more 4v4 match types, and Faction War specific reward shop. That's all I was asking for. For those, like a lot of people who are wrestling fans don't play to NBA, and if they do, some people don't go into my team. So when MyFaction came out, it was like, what the hell is this card game going on? But for those who play my team, y'all know the potential that it has. And last year I was like, okay, they got a little online going, but it needs a card market. And for those who don't know about the card market like it does in NBA, is when you have a card, and say I have a Triple H card, and it's like, well, you know, if I got a double, it automatically sells it for me in MyFaction. But if I take it and I can put it on the card market and sell it for a certain amount of MT, like, you got to pay me 100,000 for this pink diamond Triple H. And it's like, okay, instead of me trying to grind for this Triple H, if I got the MT, I'm paying for that Triple H to help out MyFaction. So all those kind of cards you can do, because there are so many cards that came out in MyFaction that I'm like, I'm not trying to keep opening packs or trying to keep grinding to get, you know, Baby Locks Booker T. You know what I'm saying? I just want Booker T. Can I just pay for it with the MT, with the in-game currency? So that's one thing I really like about it. I think that's one thing that's going to be a good thing coming out of that. And all the other stuff that we got to see, we got to figure it out. So that's what MyFaction looking like. And it's looking like, you know, now since they have that, now I'm going to be even more invested to try this thing out. Alright guys, that was the details for when it comes, like the more in-depth details for W2K24. I know that they're flying out all the important people on Thursday to go play the game, and then they said that they won't be able to release footage until February 1st. So, I'm curious to see what the footage is going to be. I'm going to react to the footage. I'm going to break down the footage. I'm going to do all the stuff that I can. One day, once I can be more consistent with this, I will be invited to 2K for one of these things, because I've been trying to do that for years, okay? So, in the meantime, we're going to wait for more news to come out next week, or we'll do out the week. But I know if they're going to go play the thing, I'm curious to see what this stuff in these gameplays is going to look like, what the roster is going to look like. Because remember, this thing coming out March 6th, so we got a condensed schedule. February is going to be loaded with stuff. So stay tuned for that. If you want to stay tuned for all that and get my opinion on it, you gotta make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my breakdown. Hit the subscribe, hit the subscribe button for more, man. I can't wait to talk about more of this. So once again, this is NC, the place to be. Chill, Mr. AMD, and the Nerd Coalition is out.